Christ. Uh,
We live?
yeah, we're live.
I know. Hold on. Hold on, please.
Let's make sure this is going good.
Yep. Yep, I'll hop on Twitch and make sure everything's good.
All right, make sure you share to Nomads.
I will.
I don't want to see my. All right, it looks like that's good. And that's kind of a relief because
Show it now.
I'm showing a picture.
I'm doing mic check real quick.
All right, do mic check real quick. I'm kind of leery about it only because I was doing some gaming before the podcast. We're good? Okay. Well, that's why I have another feed up because uh Streamlabs actually fucking crashed twice on me.
Body check, Twitch, we're good. Which usually means, since you're running Streamlabs for everything,
Yep.
if one link is good, then all the other links that you're using with Streamlabs should.
Yeah, the application itself crashed to the point to where I lost visual, I lost the ability to see my multi-stream chat, but it was running in the background. So I don't quite know what the hell was going on with that, but whatever. All right, so today I'm not quite sure how we're gonna cover all of our all platforms since we are a nomad down, but we're gonna try our best. So if you are out there watching, I'll say it again. If you're watching on YouTube, please be patient. We will get around to looking at it, but it might be a delayed response compared to Facebook, and TikTok, and Twitch. So,
Mm-hmm. I will try to kind of go back and forth.
yep.
I mean, I could always have YouTube up in the background, but I'd just have to have it muted.
Yeah, I'm doing the whole uh, TikTok thing now. Getting that pulled up to where we should be good. All right, I got TikTok up, and I will monitor the time until. God damn,
Hmm.
that time went cool.
Oh, yeah, we're already 5 minutes still have to go.
No, we're 7 minutes from go time, but good lord. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to be excited about some of the changes we're going to be doing out here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing set in stone yet, but yeah.
I've got live there.
You know, I was doing some digging on some of my editing,
Mm-hmm.
and I ran across the very first episode of the Nomad Gamers.
Oh, yeah, where we were actually just talking about games and not
Well,
stuff as a whole.
it looks a lot different than what it does now. I'll say that for it. It looks different. It sounds different. Um, and you can just tell how noobish we are or
Mm-hmm.
were at it. We are still, in some respects, kind of new to this whole thing, I'm kind of hoping this is the week where we have one that just goes off flawlessly with no issues. But
You just jinxed us. I want you to know that.
yeah, I know. It's all good. Yeah, it was interesting just watching one of our earlier episodes, like episode 1, then I found episode 30. Uh I don't even know what episode number we're on now. It's got to be in the hundreds.
It's got to be like, I want to say 146, something like that.
It's got to be. I might have to go back to YouTube because YouTube is the only one that doesn't delete anything. So I'd be able to count up how many episodes we had from our YouTube account.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see. We got to be around 150.
At least, yeah.
Well, every week for a year. Well, over a year. Our 1-year anniversary was last November. Ginger Nation, thank you for watching over on TikTok Live. You are watching the mic check, the video check, and the just chatting of the Nomad Gamers before we go live we're live now, but before the actual thing begins in about 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How is your Saturday going? Yep, Kirby. Thank you for watching, my man. How's your Saturday going?
And that's the one thing that I like with TikTok itself is just sometimes they'll just pop in and immediately
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah, well, it's all good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like I've been saying to everybody, and I've been saying it on all my nightly gaming, is there's 2 things that are free when it comes to social media. It's free to watch, and it's free to hit the like button. That's it. You don't have to say hi. It'd be nice if they said hi. Don't have to say hi. Don't have to share unless you feel compelled to. But really, just hit the like button.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't like what you see, every time that I'm watching a TikTok live, and I do a lot of it when I'm at work, no matter if I like the production or no matter if I don't like it, I always hit the like because everybody can use a little bit of love.
Well, not only that, there's a lot of people out there that have like, excuse me, sorry, they have like automatic machines on their phone that just continuously like as they're playing.
Each their own, I guess. Maybe I'm just a traditional dude, and you know, it's almost like tipping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to ask you for it. If you feel compelled to do it, then do it. Just like a like. I'm just gonna say, hey, be kind and like. But if you don't want to,
Hey guys, I got a
my
question
feeling.
real quick because I'm looking over this
What?
article. For like
Make it quick.
financial purposes, the E in front of dollar amount, is that euros or is that pounds?
It would probably be euro.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's euro.
Okay.
In fact, I'm almost positive it's euro. Why? What the hell are you looking up from over there?
I'm looking up this lawsuit that was filed in the UK.
Okay. Yes. That would be.
Pound sterling?
Jesus. It'd be pounds, but maybe it's under euro. Hell, I don't know. Hudson, thanks for joining, man. We're gonna get started here in about 30 seconds. Hey, Fireball, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. Here we go. What's up, Nomad Nation? You've got Godfather, you've got Fireball, and as everybody can see, there is no Crestrider. For this week and this week only, myself and Fireball, we make up your Nomad Gamers. If you are watching us over on Facebook, you did share to our Facebook, correct?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Okay. If you are watching us on our Facebook, thank you very much. Please give us a follow. We are so close to being able to wean ourselves off of our own personal social medias and being able to go on to Nomad Gamers, our own pages. We are literally like what 6 away from hitting 100 on Facebook.
Something like that. We're
I mean,
6 to 9 away.
We are so close. So if you're watching on Facebook, please hit that follow button, turn on your notifications, and that way every time that we come live on a Saturday,
7. We are at 7 followers away.
seven's all we need. Now, if you're watching us over on YouTube, I want to say thank you. You have found the home of the Nomad Gaming Podcast, where, well, it's 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, and I have my co-host with me, and you're just going to have to grade us after this.
Mm-hmm.
But over there by Fireball, you're going to see a subscribe button. Somewhere in between us, you're going to see a thumbs up and a heart. I need you to smash all 3 of those, turn on your notifications. That way, every time that we come live at you, or every time that I come live, you are being notified. Now, if you're watching over on any of Godfather's personal social medias, that's Facebook, Kick, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. Well, YouTube, I already said because it's Nomad Gamers. And I think that's it. I haven't added Instagram yet. But if you're watching on any of those, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Please hit that follow button. Be kind. Hit the like button as well. We can all use that little like button. So with that being said, I know Fireball thinking the same thing I am. But for our third co-host, Mr. Zanar Crestrider, we hope you feel better, buddy. And we miss you, and we will see you next weekend. And with that being said, Fireball, she's all yours.
All right. Well, looking at a couple of news sources we got picked out today, there really wasn't much happening in the world of gaming. I mean, we are at we got one more day till the new month hits till we can see what's coming out in February of 26. But for right now, there's not really much going on. We've gotten a few updates of some games that are coming out, like Tamagotchi Life, the new Resident Evil game coming out. But other than that, everything's been kind of tight-lipped about it. But
Yep.
right now, we got something going on. I know recently, Godfather, you said there was a lawsuit against Valve Corporation and Steam in the United States. Do you remember how that went?
No, I do know they lost. And I haven't been paying too much attention to this lawsuit over in Great Britain. But from the little bit that I did read, and I'll tell everyone out there now, I skimmed through it. I didn't report on it. It is very similar to what they got hit with in the United States, and they lost in the United States. They had a big they had to pay every person who bought a game X amount of money.
Oh man, I wish I would have known that. I would have signed up for it too.
Oh man, it was everywhere.
I didn't see anything about it.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
But on top of what Godfather was saying, from the source of BBC, it says Valve Corporation is facing a €656 or €656 million lawsuit in the UK over alleged unfair prices in its global online store Steam.
Yep.
After following a tribunal ruling that the case would continue. The game giant is being accused of abusing its market dominance and imposing restrictive terms on game publishers and locking players into using Steam. With Steam being the world's largest distribution platform for PC gaming.
Now, here's the interesting thing that I find interesting is I've been a PC gamer off and on since the late 90s. I think the first time I started playing PC gaming was 99, 2000, somewhere right in there. And back then, the shelving for the PC games was freaking massive. If you wanted a game, you just went down to Walmart. I was in the service at the time, so I went down to the PX, and you could pick up whatever game you wanted to.
Well, and that's like, again, we are moving in away from the digital copy era of video games.
Yeah, just hang on a second. Hang on a second, Fireball. I went away because, well, I was a little busy with other things going on in current events of that time. Uh, Uncle Sam sent me somewhere else, and I got away from PC gaming. I went to console gaming. But then when I came back, because I wanted to play Age of Empires, which, by the way, is a great game, all of a sudden I had to get this thing called Steam. Steam has become the number one place to buy and play games at.
Well, before you add anything else to this, I looked more into the article, and it says this is the reason why the lawsuit was filed. It alleges that Valve forces, quote unquote, forces game publishers to sign up to conditions which prevent them from selling their titles earlier or for less on rival platforms. It claims that Valve requires users to buy all additional content through Steam if they bought the initial game from the platform, which essentially locks in the users to only going through Steam.
Yep, it's a monopolization.
Which I get, but I mean, one of the perfect examples I could see Steam using this is Escape from Tarkov. If you buy it through Steam, you'll still get the BSG launcher. Therefore, you could go to BSG and still buy through the BSG website as well. However, I can understand why people are upset about that because, yeah, I have noticed it too when I go to buy when I want to go buy content from other platforms. And I did this once. The first time I had my laptop or my PC, I bought a extension of a game through another third party seller and not through Steam, even though I had the game through Steam, and I did not get that.
Yep.
Crestrider just said it's not a monopoly. Hold on. He just did it through Discord. He said it's not a monopoly. Everyone does the same thing for their DLCs. Steam just does it better than everyone else.
Well, I would argue that it is a monopoly. Okay. And here's the reason why I would argue that Steam is operating a monopoly is because there is no other place online that you can go and have a marketplace like Steam has. And you know, having one place to buy something, that ain't a problem. But when you can't go to Rockstar, you can't go to who makes Escape from Tarkov, which doesn't matter at this point, a moment in our time. But when you can't go to the developer to buy something for your online game, but you have to do it through Steam, that there is a monopoly.
I will say this, and this might be my way of thinking about it. If you buy a game or you buy a product through a certain store and you want to add on to that product, wouldn't you go back to that same store?
Depends. Is it cheaper through the developer? Like if Rockstar, let's use Rockstar for instance, okay? Rockstar comes out with Grand Theft Auto 6. This is completely hypothetical, but I'm gonna circle back to it.
Yep, you're jumping the gun on it, Crestrider, because I was about to bring up that same point. He said Steam is not a monopoly. If you don't want to use Steam, then you can go to Epic or GOG or Xbox or PlayStation. A monopoly means you literally have no other choice. There are several choices.
Well, regulators in the United States said otherwise. And Steam absolutely lost their ass in that case.
But I mean, I wouldn't say, and this is, I guess we are using the wrong terminology when talking about it. Steam is not a monopoly. However, the part of the problem is, and this is where I think they're going to lose it, is if you buy that certain game from Steam, you are now locked into buying the additional content from that source. You can't like say, I wanted to buy Black Ops 6 on or Black Ops 7. I bought Black Ops 7 on Steam. I then can't go to Epic Games and let's say I can't go buy COD points through Epic Games. I have to buy COD points through Steam. That's just the way that I think is what's going to hurt them in the long run is because once you buy a game from that certain platform, you're now locked into that platform.
And I don't think it needs to be that way because at the end of the day, let's be honest here. When you go, all Steam is a vehicle. You buy the game through them, it's on their platform, it's on your computer. But when you transition through Steam and you go to the end product to that game and you're gaming online, now you're on that company, whether it be Rockstar, whether it be Bethesda, whether it be Infinite Games, whatever. But you are now on their server. Your account rests with them. It doesn't rest with Steam. It doesn't rest with the. And if this tells you anything, I have very little knowledge of any other provider out there but Steam. So maybe Steam is doing something right. But yeah, they're gonna lose their ass over in Europe.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling they're gonna do the same. Another thing, moving on. That was actually a pretty good topic we had. Remember last week when I talked about how Prince of Persia: Sands of Time has been canceled indefinitely after 3 years of remastering it?
Roughly, but it's not one of those games that I thought about all week. But yeah, I roughly remember it.
Well, one of the voice actresses behind the game is now speaking out after what had happened.
Oh, what are they saying?
They said they only found out via the internet that the game was being canceled.
Now, let me ask this question before anybody out there gets upset. Was this individual actively under contract with them?
I have not really looked that well into it, but off of what they said, actress Iman Iaz, I apologize if I butcher that name, said she lost 3 years of work in a quote-unquote life-changing role just days after Ubisoft canceled the long-awaited Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. She went on to say she experienced the most devastating moment of her career. Talking about what she posted online, she says she's still under NDA, so she can't. She's going to try her best to speak about it as vaguely as possible about the details.
Well, number one, and here's where it gets sticky, but number one, if I was a voice actor, I would be very, very leery about working with Ubisoft. Ubisoft is in a corner. Everybody knows they're in a corner. Everybody knows that they are shaking. And when I mean shaking, they're not scared, but the house of cards are about to fall. At the end of the day, it might be a hit on her because this project didn't come to fruition, but it shouldn't wreck her career or his career.
But this is what she said about it all. She said, quote, 3 years ago, I booked a life-changing role in a life-changing project. It was a rigorous audition process, including a self-tape audition, an in-person callback, and a chemistry read that I had to fly out to the city for. When I got the role, I remember crying my eyes out. I spent the last 3 years getting to know the team, which had become like a family to me. I watched grow through continuous stages and development and waited for it to finally be released so I could talk about it. And then this week, I found out through the internet that the project was canceled.
It's just like an actor. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be cold-hearted here, but it's the same thing actors go through in sitcoms.
Right, I understand that. But the only thing that I will say that is a little bit on Ubisoft's fault is the fact that they did not tell them themselves. The person did not find out from the company. The person found out through online.
That is kind of shitty.
That's the biggest thing that
I'll give that to her or to him. Is it a her or
it's
him?
a her. It's a her.
Okay, I'll give that to her. That is a shitty way to find out that your project has been kiboshed. However, if it's well, never mind. No, because the NDA is probably lasting for a long time. So
Probably.
the best thing that I can say, take it on the chin and move on. I mean, look at it like this. You made it onto a life-changing game. Who says you can't get onto another game with another company?
Right. Crestrider, I apologize.
Crestrider. Why are you just not in here?
I am trying to keep up with both YouTube chat and TikTok chat, so I didn't realize that
You mean
there's stuff
Twitch?
coming. Or yeah, Twitch chat, YouTube chat. He said something of no, they won't, and then he said, "Oh wait, I'm the one that monitors this chat. Nobody's gonna see this."
No, Crestrider, we are adapting and overcoming, which means we are monitoring all channels right now, and it's not the easiest.
No, it is not. But like, I get what you say by they can overcome this,
Yeah, absolutely they can.
but again, it's also like I will say I
It's a
think
kick in the pants.
yeah,
It is.
you just lost 3 years
Yes.
of something that you were looking very.
Let me ask this question: they were getting paid for their time, right?
Oh, I didn't see anything in there.
You know, I'm
It's
almost.
probably under NDA, so we won't ever know
Well,
about it. But
Well, no, the NDA would cover the content of the game. However, they had to have been under salary. Okay, so well, maybe not, but either way, they've more than likely been compensated for the 3 years. Because I can't see you or anybody for that matter going 3 years without a paycheck. So if you've been compensated for it, take it on the chin, regain your breath, take a deep breath, and then go over to Bethesda and become a fucking zombie. Or not a zombie, but a ghoul. And rock it that way. If you're really wanting some voice work, reach out to the show here. I can put you in contact with someone who yeah, they can make some stuff happen.
okay, well, moving on. We've actually had some good good discussion about this. Usually, I'm just running through. We have an update on AI software. AI covers. I don't even know what they cover. Are they the ones that are responsible for ChatGPT?
I have no clue.
But
My knowledge of AI is about this big.
OpenAI might torch $14 billion in 2026, hitting bankruptcy next year, burning through wads of cash. Can it keep asking? Can it keep the operation afloat?
I don't care if they do, and I don't care if they don't.
Well, and like we've talked about many times, is this bubble? This bubble is very highly inflated, and seeing a pop happen might also be good and bring resources that are being heavily shoveled into these projects back to the consumer way.
I doubt it, but keep dreaming.
Why? I mean,
Here's the deal. This isn't a bubble busting event, okay? It's not. Because everybody now, the reason why they're in trouble is because everybody else out there is getting AI.
mm-hmm.
That's the reason. The competition is starting to even out. And you're going to start seeing some who were, yes, they were early to the game and they rose quick, but they're going to fall just as quick. But you've got everybody else out there coming out with their own version of AI. So I don't think we are yet seeing a bust. We're just seeing natural evolution of companies where this one may or may not go bankrupt.
I do like your way of thinking about that, but I mean, like you said, at first it wasn't a very heavily saturated market. Now it is.
Yeah.
So
Microsoft has theirs now. Google has theirs now. Pretty much the government, by God, has their own form of AI.
I don't know about that.
So at the end of the day, when you are the big dog on the block and you're the only dog on the block, you're riding high. But as soon as other people start getting a product, those that are loyal to the basic product, i.e. Microsoft, i.e. Google, they are not going to keep using you because now it's easier for them to just slide over to Google's AI or Microsoft's AI instead of going to a whole nother site to get their information. Schools are even getting AI now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, all we're seeing is the market starting to balance itself out. Some are going to drop off and go to obscurity and be forgotten about. Others are going to soar, and others are going to stay put. It's just the way. It's just like any other industry in the world. It's not It's nothing to get excited about yet.
Well, I mean, we did just cover the fact that Razer is now coming out with their own AI companion 2 weeks ago.
See, for that matter, Apple has its own AI now. So I mean, I'm so sick of AI. I'm so sick of talking about AI. It's not going anywhere. Is the bubble isn't going to break. I think they are stable enough now to where this is just going to keep riding. The only thing in the background that could possibly be doing anything with it is when it comes down to the infrastructure, and that's it. So they're here. They're here to stay. We just have to learn how to live with
All right. Well, we got a movie. We have a movie adaptation we need
it.
to talk about.
Oh, fuck.
However,
Everyone.
Gaz didn't see it. I saw it, so it's going to be a quick review by me. For those who don't know, Iron Lung came out earlier this week, and I just went and I saw it yesterday.
Iron Lung.
Iron Lung. It is based off of a indie horror game
Oh, fuck.
where basically you are. God, I'm trying to remember. I watched
What game is it off of?
Iron Lung. It's called Iron Lung.
Okay. Was it good? Was it bad? We don't need a synopsis of the whole damn thing.
Indie wise, it was a good game. For who created it, I don't know if you guys know.
I don't care about the game. What about the movie?
Sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. The movie was great.
Okay.
As an indie movie, it was really great. I will say it did break the world record for the most amount of fake blood used in a film.
That ain't bad.
Because I do got to talk about the game real quick. The game was based off of you were lowered into a submarine into basically an ocean of blood. And the only way you were able to see was you had to hit a camera that took a picture, and that's the only way you could see outside because you were basically trapped in this forged steel submarine.
Okay.
Honestly, it was really good. It was a great thriller. I wouldn't call it a horror movie because it really wasn't a horror movie. It was more of a psychological thriller.
Let me ask you this. Did it follow the events of the game?
It opened up a lot of story for the game because the game itself didn't really have a story to it.
So the story itself didn't have any lore, and they are depending on the movie to give the game lore.
Mm-hmm. Because literally
That's kind of backwards, but okay.
literally the gameplay behind it was you explored what was underneath the ocean of blood.
That doesn't even sound fun.
It was an indie horror game.
I know, but it doesn't sound fun at all. The movie, if you're into that thing, and I know Santiago would be into it, but you can count me out because no.
Again, I will say, Markiplier did a great job at that movie.
Out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
I had this conversation with a bunch of friends last night.
I heard all about it this morning.
We scored it out of 10. I would say, as just a normal movie, maybe a 6 out of 10. As an indie, somebody that was their very first movie and doesn't really have the
Adaptation. What
training for it, I'd give it a 7, 8 out of 10.
7, 8 out of 10. As an adaptation?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going too high.
No, I don't think so. The way it expanded a lot of the story.
So, is the game lore or is the movie now lore?
So,
like, who was driving that boat?
So, like I tried explaining it, in the game, you are a nameless character going and literally just exploring the ocean of blood. What's underneath the ocean.
Okay.
Or in the ocean. In the movie, you have a named character. You have a little bit of lore behind it, why the character's there. They're basically telling you have certain objectives you have to meet. They lie to you saying you're the first one in the water, but you do see, spoiler alert for anybody who is watching this, you do find a wrecked submarine down there before. It was called SM-8, I believe, was the submarine name.
Okay.
And you basically, you have to complete all the objectives, and so you can get brought
like
back
any
up.
other game.
Mm-hmm. And you get brought back up before either your oxygen runs out or before something happens to your rig.
Okay, so is it a game adaptation or a movie, and the movie is now driving the game? Because it can't be both.
I would say that it was created off of the game. However, I think the lore is being driven by the movie.
Okay, so the game is going off the movie now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, cool. Next.
All right, we got a new game we got to talk about before we get
Oh my
into.
God, a new game.
So, at first, and God's father called me stupid when I was talking about this earlier because
You do that a lot though.
I'm sitting here going, it's called Tamagotchi Life, and God's father's going, don't you mean Tamagotchi? No, it's called Tamagotchi. It is basically a animal. It looks kind of like an Animal Crossing, but if you would have had it on the Wii, because you can import and make Miis. I don't know if God's father remembers those back on the Wii,
No.
where you could go in and create your own character, yada yada yada.
Oh, the Wii dudes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember those guys.
Well, now they have those, but you have them in your own game, and it is basically, from what I have heard, is me characters with other characters. You can fully customize them, make family. I feel like it's a mixture between Animal Crossing and Sims. Oh, we got a guest star.
Well, come on, stop acting like an idiot. Come on. There you go.
But yeah, it's supposed to come out, I believe, April 16th. We just got our first uh, trailer from the looks of it. It is priced at $60 on the Switch and Switch 2. And literally it says, just from the bullet points that I see, more ways to customize your characters, make the island that you're on yours, create your own little house. You can visit other islands and facilities, and you can help residents. So I didn't play Animal Crossing that much, but how much does that sound like Animal Crossing, Godfather?
Mm,
It's made by It's made by Nintendo, so it's pretty much the same.
it's probably going to be very similar. Very, very similar. But I had a lot of problems with Animal Crossing too, so um, I don't want to be up here singing praises for something that I think was abandoned, but it's Nintendo. Nintendo is known for just rolling through the content, rolling through the games, no matter how stupid they are. And instead of coming out with a DLC for Animal Crossing, they're just going to roll out a whole new game for
Yeah.
it. Instead of fixing problems in the game prior, they're just going to roll a new game out. I mean, what number in the Mario series are we at now?
Well, we just got an update about the new Mario movie.
Yeah, that one looks pretty good.
We got to see Yoshi for the first time.
Yep, yep.
I love that dinosaur.
I'm just saying this, and well, no, I'm not. I'm not going there because I need to see more about that Mario movie than what I'm seeing now.
Yeah. Do we know when it's supposed to come out?
I haven't seen yet.
Ooh, that's Claus.
But then at the same time, uh, I know it's not coming out soon, like within the next week or two, because I would have seen more and more and more and more on it. But the trailers, they look pretty good.
Hold on.
We're gonna know when it comes. I think it's like March something.
What?
I want to say like March 16th or 26th or something like that.
It says, hold on, it's just popping up with a bunch of. Looking at the Hollywood Reporter. No, no. April 1 is when it's saying.
Okay, I was a week off.
Mm-hmm.
It's an April Fool, so we don't even know if it's going to come out on that day.
Right. But no, just from seeing the new trailer with Yoshi in it, I'm excited because like I always wanted there to be a Mario movie. We got the first one, and the way they've played out CGI and animation, and it looks so much better now. So I'm happy to see what they are going to do with that moving forward.
Most people don't. Well, you wouldn't remember this, but people my age would. Some of the best video games of the '90s were actually cartoons. We're back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Started out as a cartoon. We got the video game for the NES. Then you got the movies. Then you had Mortal Kombat. There's another one. Started off as the game, became a movie. Uh, Looney Tunes, Simpsons. It was like DuckTales. I don't know why I just thought of DuckTales, but DuckTales.
And I will say this. The problem we have now with movie adaptations is the fact that they don't take off the source material. If they make if they make a movie based on a video game, they want to have their own creative spin to it. And that's where a lot of people are upset, is because you have source material that that, like, you say, oh, this movie is supposed to represent this game.
Yeah.
And then you go to the movie and they're like, well, we didn't do it this way because we wanted to have our own creative edge to it. Then don't say that you're following what the game is.
I thought, I think the only one that I have not agreed with in the last, I don't know, 3 years, besides season 1 of Fallout, we're not going there. Forget about that. Halo. Halo would be about the only one that I have universally heard of that is being panned. But when it comes down to it, in my eyes, as long as they stay somewhat with the lore, I'm okay with it. Because let's face it here, everybody. Not everything in a game is entertaining. Not everything in the lore is entertaining. But if you're going to make a movie, and let's take the Warcraft movie for example, okay? I thought, for the most part, Warcraft was a very well put together movie based on a video game. Stormwind looked decent. Ironforge looked decent. Orgrimmar looked decent. The story might have varied from the video game, but that happens with everything because not everything in a video game is entertaining.
Right. But what I'm trying to say, though, Godfather, is if you have a studio come out saying we're following what's happening to the events of these games,
Yep.
and then they come out and they're like, or we're basing this adaptation off of the game, and then they come out and they say, well, we're adding our own little twist to it. Best example being The Last of Us Season 2. They're going off the events of Part 2, literally line for line, bar for bar. They're going off the events of The Last of Us Part 2 was Season 2.
I forgot about that.
And then they changed quite a bit in it.
Yep.
It ruins it.
Let me ask you this question. Who made The Last of Us the video game?
Naughty Dog, I believe.
Naughty Dog.
I believe.
Let's that. No, don't look it up. Let's just go with it. It may be wrong. It may be right. Whatever. But who made the movie?
An HBO studio.
So it was an HBO special.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at the end of the day, who has the responsibility to police HBO on how they are making a show or a movie out of the video game?
I see where you're going with this.
Naughty Dog does.
I see where you're going with this. However, I will say, just because they will sit there and be like, "Oh, I want to buy the rights to creating an adaptation for this show," they bought the rights. They do what they want with the rights. That's for them to do it. But when you say you're going to and pan to an audience and pan to people who you want to see this show, and then be like, this is the source material we're using, this is the events we're following, and then they go and change something in there and it's no longer congruent with the source material, that's when you're going to have problems.
That's on the company. That's on whoever made the game. So we don't know what's in the contract, number one, because Naughty Dog could have came out and said, here's your left and right ballot. Much like what Todd Howard has done with Amazon. We're sticking in between here. We are not going outside of it. We are not messing with the ending for this video game. You have all this creative freedom as long as you don't touch this. To me, I like that. I wish others would do that. Speaking on video games to movies, what about this whole Zelda movie that's coming out?
We've never really, and I will. Well, we've kind of gotten an animation of Zelda, didn't we, back in like the 90s?
Oh, we've gotten all kinds of shit for Zelda, but
Because
never
this,
a live adaptation.
yeah, there's
Never.
going to be live action this
Yeah.
time. I'm not holding my breath for anything.
Oh, I am.
I mean, every single live action that we've gotten outside of Fallout and outside of season 1 of The Last of Us, it hasn't followed much.
From what I've seen about this Zelda, I've seen some of the stills of some scenes. What scenes? I don't fucking know. But I've seen them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I like what they're doing. I think it looks pretty good.
It can look good.
It can look good all day long. It's just what's in the story.
Mm-hmm.
That part I don't know. However, Netflix has the rights to Zelda.
I mean, God, you and I have kind of flipped on this whole entire thing. When we started originally talking about adaptations, I'm like, oh, it looks great. I'm not going off of what's going on with the story. It just looks great. And you're like, yeah, but if it's not following the story, then it won't be that great. And I'm sitting here talking about how if they're not following the story, it's not going to be that great.
But what's the role of Zelda?
But I'm gonna bring up a counterpoint to you. You talk about me all the time talking about how if we get these remasters, it's gonna be great for graphics.
Okay.
It's basically the same thing as a video game to live action. It's gonna look amazing, but if the story isn't there, why? Why do it?
I guess I have evolved without knowing it, number one. And I cannot believe I'm saying they really redeemed themselves in my eyes. And they're kind of the standard bearer now for something like this. But I like how Todd Howard and Amazon are working about the Fallout thing. And what I'm really hoping happens is that they set the mark to where something like Zelda is doing the same thing. We know what the lore is. We know what the stories have been. Are they going to bring it to the big screen or not?
I mean, there are certain, and I might be going a little off topic when I say this. There are certain video games out there that I would love to see become live action.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
I mean, but right now the way I'm looking at it is, and mind my language when I say this, it's like you're talking about video game to live action. It's like talking about taking Tomb Raider 1990s with the little pointy triangle boobs and taking it and bringing it into live action as an adaptation there. It's going to look amazing. Everything is going to look spectacular looking on the big screen. But if they don't follow the story, if they don't follow what is actually happening in those games, that's where you're going to have a big difference.
All right.
You're still using the name and likeness of a character.
You just opened Pandora's box.
You're taking the name and likeness of a character, even though you said we're gonna follow. Let's say
the character doesn't have an NIL. Okay, name and image likeness. The character doesn't have it. All right.
I mean,
you have to kind of match them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. But all I'm saying is this, Fireball, is we're always complaining about these live adaptations. whether it be Halo, Fallout, The Last of Us, Mario, Zelda, Warcraft, you name it, put the game out there that's been a movie or a TV show or a cartoon. And we're always going to find something to nitpick it on. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about this because there's a lot of stuff coming out from the video game industry to the movie industry. I'm no longer going to blame Hollywood. I am blaming the developer of the video game for not being smart enough to put this shit in a contract to force them to abide by the lore to protect their brand. Because at the end of the day, The Last of Us, Fallout, Warcraft, Zelda, Mario, they are a brand that is belonged to a certain company that is not the movie industry.
Hold on, I'm looking something up. Give me just a
I
second.
know you are.
Because right now, via the as of December 1st, 2025, so this is a
Yep.
little old.
It actually is pretty new. Is the glass half empty or is the glass half full?
Sony is in production right now to create a live-action Helldivers 2 film.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, there are certain games out there that you can expand onto the lore. You have to follow.
Right.
You have to follow the bare bones of the lore, and
Yes, you
this
do.
is the problem. This is the thing that I have. Follow the bare bones of the lore. If there are significant events within the lore, show them. You're gonna have a great bringing video game to live action. You're gonna have a great moment with that.
Now let me ask you this question, okay? Because I agree with you. I honestly agree with you. Because when I was watching this week's Fallout, when he walked into Mr. House's little chamber,
Spoiler alert. Fallout season 2, episode 6. Spoiler alert, because we're about ready to dive into that anyway.
Yeah.
So if you have not seen it, this is your moment to just skip past this.
So when he goes in there and he does the cold fusion and powers everything up. And even before that, when they went into Freeside, and when they are visiting high marks of the lore from New Vegas, I completely agree with you. Because that's going to bring more fans in to watch it. They want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I can't speak for every Fallout fan out there. I can't speak for every fan out there for anything. But I could tell you right now, I could care less if Caesar's alive. I could care less if House is alive. I could care less if the NCR is around. I am just happy to see some of these scenes that I personally walked through with my character.
Yeah.
It was the same with Warcraft.
I will agree with you on that. Yes. But the thing is, and you and I are so close to, like, I wouldn't say being in agreement, because you don't need to be in agreement when it comes to this kind of stuff. But what I'm saying, though, is
Nope.
if you are going to take an adaptation of something, hey, you're saying you're following the source, like many
Keep it at the high notes.
yeah, many adaptations say we're gonna follow the source material to this. But if they want to expand and like you said, you see Mick and Ralph's, you see the Lucky 38,
Yeah.
you see Gamora, you see all these places where you're like, I could pause this TV show right now, boot up my game system, and walk through it as my character.
With the dinosaur.
Yeah, this is. You almost got it past me. You almost got it past me. I can live with the dinosaur, all right?
Hey, Fireball, just pick it up and turn it back around the way it's supposed to be.
But I can understand, recreating those scenes. Everybody's gonna be like, I remember that. But if you're going to have the adaptation play off of an important event in the video game that is a very crucial part to said video game. You need to follow it.
Yes. Now, can we agree on one thing?
Hmm.
We don't agree on a lot
I
on this.
swear to God, if you
on
talk
this.
about the dinosaur again,
No, I was. I mean, I wish they would have made it pink instead of purple, but that's just me.
it's not even purple; it's orange,
See, didn't matter to me. But anyway,
orange, brown, whatever. Okay.
it comes down to protecting the brand, and if we're gonna hammer Hollywood for fucking up this movie or TV show about one of our favorite games, we can't be mad at who made the show or who made the movie. We have to be mad at the developer who made the game. Because at the end of the day, when you cut all the bullshit out, you boil everything down, it all comes down to that contract
Mm-hmm.
and whatever they gave away to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we have to be mad at the developer of the game, i.e., Rockstar, Bethesda, whomever, for giving them that creativity in the first place to be able to modify the story that we've all fallen in love with.
Yep, I will have to agree with you on that
Now,
to a certain extent.
let's. Oh, whoa, what?
To a certain extent, I will have to agree with you on that because
You know how business works, right?
I do know how business works.
Okay. Once you boil down all the bullshit, what does it come down to?
Agree. It comes down to the contract. I agree
Thank
with
you.
you on that. But moving on.
Yeah.
Now this is where we're going to get into the meat
Yes.
and potatoes of this week's Fallout episode.
Here's a good one.
So if you guys, well, this is probably what we're going to do to talk to the end. So Godfather will
Do a countdown.
when he goes back through and edits this, he'll probably put a timestamp in there saying move this far into the video to move past it for those who decide to watch it on YouTube later.
Okay, here we go. Countdown time. I love this part of the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We got somewhat of a canonical ending in the game. Because if you remember the Yes Man game, when you take over Mr. House's console, the Yes Man Protectron then crashes and dies right next to the console.
Yeah.
And what do we see when the ghoul steps out of the elevator?
But
there are other Protectrons that are supposed to be in the Lucky 38 as well.
Fireball.
Hold on. However, if you looked at that Securitron was still almost fully intact. I didn't see any bullet holes in that Securitron. I didn't see anything ripped off of that Securitron. It looked as if his mind was uploaded into the master terminal and fell over like he does in the game.
You're not wrong there.
Because if you remember, when you go to try to take out Mr. House, you are literally getting jumped by 8 different directions and having to fight your way to get to the elevator to go up to see Mr. House.
Yep, because I did that ending.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is this. There was a quick scene a couple episodes back where I think it was Yes Man who got his ass kicked.
Mm-mm. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That howdy doody fuck.
No, I'm thinking of something different.
Yeah. One of the two got their ass completely hammered.
Victor.
Now, there was another scene a couple weeks back, same episode, where we seen one of them getting their ass handed to them in the Lucky 38. It did not last long. It was only a quick snip.
No, it wasn't. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Tell me if I'm wrong when I talk about this.
Okay.
It was Maximus and Harkness going through. They find that Securitron that was upgraded.
Nope, that's not it.
No?
No, it was a real quick snap because I even stopped it and said to Sweet Kitty Pie, I said, who the fuck is up there? They never showed us.
Because if you remember correctly, we find Victor in Camp Golf? Is that the one that's at that golf range country club? He walks in and Victor turns on and is like, Oh, I haven't seen you forever. Where have you been?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Yep, that's Victor, and he was at Camp Golf. I remember because he's like, Mr. House is gone.
Well, here's the other thing too, that I know we're jumping to the very end of the episode, but something else that I found very unique or very interesting about the whole thing was, where was all the bullet holes or the burn
Talking
marks?
David and the allegation. What are you talking about, Lord Braith?
David and the
Do
allegation.
you know Talking David and the allegations? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tell us what subject, because you are about a minute or so behind us.
Yeah. You are gonna have to let us know what's
Yeah.
going on because we have no idea what you're talking about.
Nope. But back to what I was saying, and as soon as we get clarification, we'll answer. But didn't you notice that there was no burn marks from lasers, no bullet holes from bullets at all? And like you said, when you go in there to go see Mr. House, you're getting jumped in nine different ways. You are in a hell of a firefight, no matter what kind of weapon you're in. But damn, that room looks awfully clean.
Hold on, you went offline.
Who did?
You. It's saying an error occurred. Please try again on your Twitch.
Well, Twitch is down.
Yep. Twitch is.
We lost Twitch. All right, well, whatever.
No, it says failed to determine content.
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I'm checking YouTube real quick just to see if we're still live over there.
All right.
Yep, we're still live on YouTube. I think it just
No, Twitch is up.
Twitch.
Twitch is up. I just got a notification about my dashboard.
All right. Well, moving forward, you were talking about.
Yeah. It's awfully clean for that big of a firefight.
Okay, yeah, we're back up, but it just jumped from being an hour on stream back to 50 seconds. So
Oh,
I think you just rebuffered.
yeah, whatever.
I don't know because if I remember correctly, there is a way because I did turn Mr.
Okay.
House into a thing of mashed potatoes once.
Hold on. Before you say there is a way, think of the most common way. Because when it goes down to something like this, you have to do this adaptation to the lowest skill of person that would have ran through there and would have had probably the worst firefight that you could ever think of.
I'm telling you right now, when I did that playthrough and I got rid of Mr. House, I was spamming stim packs left and right.
You goddamn skippy.
And not firing my weapon at all.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. So that's why I'm saying the room is awfully clean.
My other question is again, the TV show takes place, what, 12 years after the events in New
15.
Vegas? 15? Was the Lucky 38 left unlocked that entire time, or was it locked back up?
Actually, no, because if you look just before that, when dude in the power armor, I can never remember, Maximus, when he is fighting that Deathclaw, if you remember, the ghoul goes up to the door, has a key card, and gains entry. So the Lucky 38 was closed. It was locked. Because he couldn't get in without that key card.
Right, I understand that. But this is what I'm trying to say is, if it were the case and the Lucky 38 were to stay locked, I'm trying to remember how many Securitrons alone were in the penthouse area of the Lucky 38.
Well, either way, they're creating more questions now than answers, because if they're trying to keep it
ambiguous,
where are those Securitrons?
Right. That was the question I was.
What are the defenses? And if you're keeping it ambiguous, I would at least show a firefight in there.
Well, I mean,
of some sort.
Look at what we were talking about. I think it was 2 episodes ago when Lucy went in and just started gunning out all those ghouls. if you looked off to the side, you saw
So.
just piles of scrap and Securitron bodies.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was a fight. Again, we have more questions now because it's been 15 years since the events of the game. We don't know what happened. We've made some connections, and I would say we've assumed some answers, talking about how maybe the Death Claws took care of all the Securitrons, or
Well,
what have you.
here's the other thing, Fireball, is they do say in the show that what?
It looks like you're back down again on.
I'm not worried about it. The one thing that they show on the show is New Vegas has been rotating who has been controlling it.
Mm-hmm.
So who's to say that Caesar's Legion didn't take care of that? Who's to say that the NCR didn't take care of that?
Because if you remember, if you do the playthrough where you're talking with the king,
I get
the
that.
king and the NCR take over Freeside together. And I wouldn't say they take over Freeside, but they work in conjunction with each other to.
But this is 15 years prior, and they're saying that these
15 years ahead.
Ahead. I'm sorry, but they're saying that control has rotated. So who's to say that Caesar's Legion, the NCR, or whoever else didn't come through and absolutely wreck Freeside and take control back of it?
Right, and I get that. And the thing is looking through some of this, when Maximus comes out in the NCR power armor, they're all sitting there celebrating, being like, "Oh, the NCR is back!"
Exactly. Maybe the NCR was the one who treated them the best, because by their reactions, that's who they really want in control of
New Vegas. And I get that, and it's like, we have so many more questions than we have answers to. Yeah. Every single episode seems to make us ask more questions than anything.
And we got what, one more episode to answer all these questions? Let's be honest for a second. After this next episode, that is the end of New Vegas. We're not going to see New Vegas again. I don't think we are. I think they're going to continue east.
Who knows?
I don't know what's coming next, because Lucy and her dad, they're starting to tie that one up. Lucy's brother, that whole storyline is starting to get wrapped up.
I don't know.
I said starting to.
We honestly, the last thing we see with Norm's whole arc is the fact that
he's about to get his ass whooped.
Yeah.
And then you've got the two vaults that are about to go to war with each other. And you got that overseer who is running for her damn life because she's about to get strung the fuck up.
Well, and here's the other thing that, like, talking about Steph and everything going on with her. When Chet basically comes out and says, "I think he killed Woody," everybody was like, no, it's fine. We don't think that. And then he goes, "Also, she's Canadian." And there's like,
yeah, like, okay, a murder doesn't fucking matter, but her being Canadian is the deal breaker?
But here's the thing, and this is like,
what's missing there?
They never, in the games, I don't think they ever really touch on the annexation of Canada.
No, never.
We see a newspaper in Fallout 3 when you're loading in from time to time, fast traveling, talking about how it says U.S. annexation, U.S. annexes Canada, and that's it. That's all we see.
That's it. There's been nothing else about it.
We don't see anything else talking about it. So the fact that we've gotten a little more of what's going on, especially with the fact that a lot of Canada was internment camps, because
that's what it was.
Because it has come out to be confirmed that the person that Steph was running with in her flashback was her mom. Her mom died, and her mom said, "Get to the U.S. any way possible,"
because she had to go across border patrol, and she absolutely nixes that dude. So I just thought it was a Canadian running for the border. I didn't put two and two together like that.
Because they were talking about being in Uranium City, but it come to find out it was an internment camp.
Huh. See, that's interesting, because I didn't even pick up on that. But it makes a lot of sense now. And the reaction that the Vault Dweller give when he produces that ID saying she's Canadian, Now it's starting to make sense on why all of a sudden they are pretty much wanting to string her ass up by her toenails.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot of sense. But the other thing that I found interesting about this episode, the FEV.
Oh, with Thaddeus?
Yeah.
Thaddeus is turning into a centaur. You cannot convince me otherwise. With his arm falling off, with that thing that's right here on his collarbone, he's turning into a centaur.
No. I don't disagree with that, but no, I'm not talking about that because the FEV didn't come up with him. The FEV came up.
Oh, yeah.
Did not come up with him.
You're talking about how they
Lost
found
me there for a minute.
out. What was it called? Financial.
Yeah. It was the water chip.
Hold on, I'm talking about when Norm found on the Vault Tech executive terminal, talking about it was something about it spelled out FEV, but it was Future Executive Ventures or something like that.
I thought it had everything to do with the water chip because they were talking about the water crisis, and then that was the very next thing. So if you are correct, and I'm not saying you're not, that was a hell of a bait and switch.
Because Norm found they said something. Norm saw something on the computer talking about Vault 33 and was like, "What's going on with my vault?" And before he could even figure anything out, that's when he got attacked by the
Maybe it was that one.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Well, what's going to happen to my vault? What's going to happen to my people?" And before he got attacked again, before the last thing we saw about him, he reached out to his dad or reached out to Lucy and was like,
Yep.
"I don't know what's going on. There's something planned for our vault. I want to find out."
Yep. He was calling out, and at that time we saw Lucy pretty much hitting everything but the middle of the road
Mm-hmm.
on the golf cart, hauling ass down to take care of the mainframe.
Did you catch?
I did catch. It wasn't. Was that the representative?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
At first, I thought it was Mr. House's head. I'm like, that doesn't
No.
make sense. And then they zoomed in on her. And I was like, oh,
That's the representative.
That's the representative.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. I'm going to tell you what. My instant thought after the show. This one was a little bit easier to comprehend. Not so much going on as far as confusion. Still had a lot of confusion, but not as much as, let's say, last week's. But more questions than answers.
Mm-hmm.
And god damn, I can't wait for this week. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens with Lucy. I want to see what happens with that vault. Is the ghoul going to get down there and release his wife and daughter? What's going to happen to Lucy's father? What is going to happen to her brother? Is he going to get whacked? Is he going to stay alive? Is he going to escape? What's going on with the vaults? So we have all these questions, and God, I can't wait to see the answers.
Did you see what they said about the water chip when they were talking when they had one of the pre-war flashbacks?
No. I probably did, and I probably don't remember.
30% of the water chips are failing or are going to fail, but they know which ones are going to fail, so they can pre-install them to which vaults they want to fail.
Yeah, and that goes directly off of Fallout lore. So that part I was very happy to see. So, yeah, it was a hell of an episode. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
I mean, and with Mr. House showing up on the screen again.
See, with that that took some thought. I've been thinking about that steadily since I watched it last night. I don't think they're canonizing that ending. I don't think Howard is that stupid to do that. Could this just be a recording?
I don't know. I mean, I assume it's going to be, or I'm predicting it's going to be a recording.
Yeah,
because
that's what I was thinking too. That Mr. House was foreseeing. He wouldn't have been the ghoul. He would have been. I can't think of his name now, but he was predicting him to come back at some point, and that's why he recorded. Well, hello there, old chum. And that is not how Mr. House talked at the end of the game, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's leading me down the road
But
of,
here's the other thing.
is it recorded?
I'm going to say I am 95% sure it's a recording.
Yep.
Because if you remember, if you look back at the floating head, she had Mr. House's
Yep.
mainframe helmet on.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. To get to Mr. House, didn't you have to go? You had the 2 stairs that came down.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you have to go right in between those two?
No.
Or was it off to the side?
It was off to, so let's say you're staring at, if you're in the game, you're staring at the computer.
Uh-huh.
To the left behind the curtain is a terminal and the elevator.
Okay.
And that's how you get up to.
I thought you had to go down this windy little fucking thing, and he was all the way at the end.
No. If I remember correctly, there's a terminal you have to turn on, but it explicitly states that if you activate this terminal, every Securitron in the room, every Securitron will attack you.
Like I said, it's been years and years and years since I played Fallout New Vegas. But here's the other question.
Correctly, it's also the same elevator you take that when you deliver the platinum chip, Mr. House is like, this is what the platinum chip's going to do to all the Securitrons, and it shows the upgraded Securitrons.
Now, here's the other thing, too. They don't even show that. I paused that
in one of the post credits, you can see Mr. House's
in the first fucking credits.
In the post credits,
that's bullshit.
Like as it pans through and like shows you things, like because there are a lot of details in those post credits. That's why I watch them. And one of the post credits, you can actually see Mr. House's like pod or whatever. And as it's panning out, you could see an arm hanging from the pod. Like the pod is like cracked open, and you can see someone's arm.
But they also said that's not Mr. House.
Did they?
Oh yes, they did. Most fucking definitely they did.
Okay, so if that's not Mr. House,
don't ask me. I don't fucking know. That's the only thing I can come up with is, again, it's a bait and switch. Caesar. We had that with Caesar. He's laying up there. Now what's going to happen, because we left Caesar's Legion when both sides were absolutely giving it to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden we're hearing about the Legion again. Mr. House, we've seen his pod. We've seen that arm laying out. Mm-hmm. Bethesda has come out and said that's not Mr. House. Because every week somebody finds something in that show, and rightfully so, where they go on and they say they've canonized the ending for this. But then Bethesda comes back out and says, well, go look at that again. That's not Mr. House. Or go look at that again because it's not that. Or it's not this. The bombs really dropped on this day, not that day. So they're doing a very good job of tap dancing and smoke and mirrors. A very good job.
Mm-hmm. I will say that they are very well. They're doing a very good job about it.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say, because it just popped up on my feed, I want to talk about it real quick before we decide to get off. Battlefield 6 has lost 90% of its player base.
Really? From where?
Steam, I believe. According to Steam...
Well, hold up. Where are you getting this information from?
Gaming World.
Gaming World?
Gaming World News.
I don't know about that.
It says...
I would have seen more about
according to Steam DB, Battlefield 6 is currently sitting at about 52,000 concurrent players on Steam. At launch in October, it peaked at over 750,000. That's a 93% drop in the launch high, at its launch high.
Well, that's kind of a deceiving thing to say, too. Okay? When it comes out, it's the new shiny syndrome. Everybody wants to play it. Same with Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty didn't have those.
Hold on. I'm using it as an example.
I understand that.
When it's new, everybody gravitates towards it. They want to see what it is. And then once the newness wears off, the players wear off.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe where we're at now, maybe that is their average. going forward because every game experiences this.
I understand that.
It's still heads and tails better than Call of Duty.
Considering the fact that they're staying congruent at about 53,000 players, that's okay. I can understand that.
Yeah.
The only problem with Battlefield 6 is the fact that they are not shoveling out the content that need to stay relevant.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's hurting them. That's what's hurting them. But at the end of the day, that's why I don't pay attention much to those articles because it's almost like they try and damage the game by giving such a drastic statement. We are 4 months past launch date.
Yeah, I get that.
Without a DLC, or
However, I will say,
without up-to-date content, I would expect this.
but you also have to remember, going back to older video games, talking about like Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, COD Ghost, Black Ops 3, you had an entire year roadmap of what was going on.
Yep.
DLCs were going to be launched these days. We were going to have small little drip feed for you. We were going to have challenges for you. There's not a roadmap at all, and it's just we're going to launch it when we feel like it, and that's what's killing some of these video games.
Well, I've said it before. Ain't nobody want to listen to me, so I ain't even gonna waste my breath on it.
All right, well, that's all we.
If they don't do it, don't play the game.
Well, that's all we got for the day.
Like I have my niche content. I have my games that I play. I can really care less if they come out with a DLC because I enjoy the game. Some people, and there's a lot of people like me, but there's also a large number of people that are like Fireball, and they need that new content all the time.
Don't put me in one of those people.
I mean, you jump from game to game. And I consider you a jumper.
Really?
You do come back. Like, you'll jump down the line, and then you'll make a U-turn, come back to a game, and jump down the line again. It might take you 3 months to get there, and then to come back around might take 6 months. And I'm not knocking it. We all do it. I got my core 3 games. I haven't been on Red Dead Redemption in probably 2 months now.
Yeah, you kind of stopped after you lost your.
No, it had nothing to do with that. Actually, it didn't. I stopped because I started getting more into Grand Theft Auto. It had nothing to do with my daily streak.
Okay. Considering you were sitting at a 35-day daily streak, and you were like, you need to make sure, because you went on vacation, and you were like, you need to make sure you get at least one thing done to keep my streak going.
And you screwed it up. But at the end of the day, I got it back up to, I think, 25 or 30 days. And then I let it go because I was in here playing Grand Theft Auto. I mean, that was grabbing my attention. Now, I'm going to tell you all this right now. Probably in the next month or two, I'll lose interest in Grand Theft Auto and go back to Red Dead Redemption. And it might be that way for 2 months, and then I'll go back to Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto up until November 19th. And then you sons of a bitches are going to see me for 40 hours on the new one.
Yep.
So, all right.
This just in, you heard it yourself, folks. Godfather's going to disown his family and play GTA 6 for 40 hours a week.
I am. If they want me, they know where I'm at. And you know what? Sweet Kitty Pie is already blessed off on it. So there's where you can go. All right. You're up.
All right. I do apologize this past week. I didn't get any streaming in. A lot of personal things happen, and don't really want to get too much into it. But Godfather can also confirm that this week was a week full of Mondays for me. But hopefully we'll get back into it on Wednesday. I'm thinking about getting back into it. My 2-week Minecraft phase seems like it's coming around the corner.
Knew it.
We're gonna do a playthrough of all the mods 10 on CurseForge. If you guys are into that, we got a couple of friends we're gonna play with as well. But that's about all I've got. Otherwise,
let me on real quick.
We're going to continue trying to escape from Tarkov. We got a lot of main quests we got to get through.
All righty then, it's on to me. I have a poll up at over on my Facebook page, over on Godfather. It's going to be up until next Saturday, February the 7th. That is going to drive my gaming adventures for the next 5 months or better. Please go over there, take a look at the options on the poll, vote accordingly to what you would like to see. That is for story mode only, not for online. Sunday Fun Days with Sweet Kitty Pie will be tomorrow over on Minecraft. Come on over, take a look, say hi, give me a like, do your thing. Monday night is Grand Theft Auto with my new crew, with old JJ. He was on for a little bit before this. We'll be doing all kinds. I just got the terabyte, so we'll be doing that. Then we got Talking Tuesday on Tuesday at 7:30. Tune into my stuff, and I'll go more in depth. So, for my co-host, Mr. Fireball, and for Mr. Zanar Crestrider, who is not here today, hoping that he is starting to feel a little bit better, I'm Godfather. Peace and love. Your Nomad gamers are out the door.